we don't really know. Whereas we've got Microsoft revealing AI Copilot's escalated with Google, and they already have announced their new feature. And the Edge browser, already has ChatGPT AI integrated into it. So currently, Microsoft is definitely ahead in this AI game.
Well, you actually have to use Bing is the thing. I don't know if actually people are using it though. Maybe they were first, but are people using?
But they might start. They might start if Google's a shit, or if Google's isn't rolled out quick enough, and whereas Bing has already got it working, and now we've already seen that ChatGPT is now mostly, if you want consistent service, because it's always offline, you have to pay to get consistent service, or you can just go onto Microsoft Bing for free and experiment with it. So, if Google comes out tomorrow and theirs is great and working, then I don't think Bing will get much market share. If Google doesn't come out soon with a working AI and update their search engine results, people could start going over and really enjoying it and getting used to Bing.
They just need ChatGPT / Bing would need something that's so overarchingly better than Google's that it would be.
It's got AI, it's working with AI. That is better.
Sure, but we're weeks away from Google having the same thing. Is what I'm saying. Like you need
exactly
big move that gets people to say, okay, fuck it, I'm moving from Google. Fuck Google. It's really hard to do in the same way that even if Tesla dropped a phone, it would take an extra thing to get them to actually make some real sales and compete. It would have to have something that's really, really unique that you can't really replicate. And that's tough with AI because they can just learn from each other and just replicate it right after the other person comes after it. So I think we're in for a fucking ride. If I was to guess, I would say Google still wins this race, but we'll see.
Google, so Google has got a massive head start. 70-something% market share, from the perspective that they're starting the AI race way ahead, but Microsoft is way ahead in the AI side of it. So who gets to the finish line? Nobody knows. But I remember the days when Nokias were the only phone that anyone wanted, and really it was as much as Apple is now. And then I remember the days when BlackBerry were the only phones that anybody wanted.
Blackberries
and now it's either Apple or Samsung, right? Yeah. But that changes, and we've seen that changes. So just because Google is so far ahead on the search game at this point does not mean that a disruptive technology like AI could come and turn them on their head.
It's just
could not come and turn them on their head.
Has it? But Google has AI. It's like that's true if Google didn't have AI, but Google literally has.
Well, that's why they've said they have this, right?
Yeah. So
but at the end of the day, it's not yet live. So is it days? Is it weeks? Or is it years? And they're just trying to buy time. I can tell you that there's a mad rush inside Google at the moment to get a prototype up and running, like live, that people can use, because otherwise they will start to slowly lose some market share.
Well, the issue with Microsoft is not a big player, right? I mean, they are a big player, but they're not a big player as far as attention. They have nobody knows. Like if you ask a random person in the street and you said, "Hey, like what is Microsoft?" They would probably struggle. They'd be like, "Oh, it's the computers, right?" And you're like, "Well, yeah, but like what is it?" You'd be like, well, I don't actually know." Like Microsoft's kind of hazy. They don't really know what the brand is. There's not like a.
But remember, that was the same. No one knew what BlackBerry was, and everyone knew Nokia. Remember also, Microsoft's in a unique position that a lot of PCs run on Windows, and by default, Bing is the search engine there on the browsers by default. Sure. If when you get Microsoft and you open Safari or whatever they call Edge or whatever they call it, Bing is by default there. And now
I immediately go and download Google Chrome from Safari.
Exactly.
That's the first thing I do.
But if Bing is good and it's AI, like here it's saying, you can literally ask it any question verbally in your own language and it will answer it for you. Like certain things like that are just seamless for AI are difficult when there's no AI involved. And it's going to be interesting. I don't know the answer, but it's going to be an interesting one for sure.
Good point. The AI will push this fucking digital world so fast. I'm very excited because AI, as it gets bigger, Metaverse has no choice but to grow with it, because if we can input stuff and things come out, there's no reason we can't do that visually. There's no reason AI can't learn to fix that and just throw that into a visual world. I've got so many video ideas for AI metaverse style content together. That kind of spurned from my conversation with Brett. So I'm excited. I'm very excited for AI. It does make me nervous, but like not really. I'm much more excited.
No, it's very exciting. Very, very. And speaking of Tesla's fails, your friend, Kate, you and I are going to have a bit of an argument